Hey guys, and welcome back to A Girl in Review with me, your favorite outfit repeater, Jay Gibson. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about one Black Mirror episode. So it's starring Issa Rae, Awkwafina, amongst others. And this was the episode that has people in a tizzy, so to speak, when it comes to Black Mirror this season. So here's the trailer.
I'd like to welcome you back.
Ready?
Yeah. 3, 2.
And action.
They call it mind expanding. It alters your neuronal structure. Mind is a computer.
Cool. Timeless. Come with me.
We'll all be cyborgs before long.
Just remember that they're AIs. To them, this is real.
Ready?
I'm ready.
We have to create software that elevates us.
This game?
I'm losing my mind.
So as we all know, Black Mirror is essentially a horror slash thriller slash dystopian series. Every season has different episodes, so you don't necessarily have to watch from episode 1, season 1. You can start from anywhere because every episode is different with a different cast and different themes. People who are online and have the same maybe feed and For You page as me on TikTok may have seen so many people's criticism of the season of Black Mirror, saying it wasn't good, it was very boring, it was lackluster, and that lacklusterness happens to be because it became American. Previously, Black Mirror used production companies in the UK, and it was a European/UK production company. Right before the season premiered of the latest Black Mirror, people found out and blasted that the American production companies have bought Black Mirror, so it's not going to be the same. They put that seed into viewers' heads. So now viewers went into the new season of Black Mirror with preconceived notions of it's going to be bad because the Americans have taken it over. Why is the season of Black Mirror bad? No. To me, it wasn't the best because Black Mirror has done everything they could do. There's no more dystopian ideologies. There's no more dystopian scripts that can be written that will shock people anymore. We are shocked out. We are extremists out. We are bloodied out. We are worried out. So people went into watching this new season of Black Mirror mentally exhausted. Now let's get into the hoopla where that is Issa Rae's season. I just went on my phone and saw the name of this episode with starring Issa Rae is Hotel Reverie. So I'm just going to do a quick summary of the episode. This episode stars Awkwafina and Issa Rae, essentially. It stars another woman, but I just don't remember her name. I'm not going to search it up. Sorry, guys, in the comments. So essentially, Issa Rae is an A-list actress in this episode. She gets her dream role of starring in Hotel Reverie, but she wants the male part. Awkwafina is a producer, or she's recreating this. They're using technology that connects to your brain, and it essentially throws your mind and you into the movie. You have to know your lines, and you have to know your mark still, though, okay? So in this movie that Issa Rae is going to be thrown into, it's a love story with a sad ending between Issa Rae, who's playing the male white character, and the actress who's playing the love interest in that movie, the white actress. So, Issa Rae gets the role. She's excited. She's happy. Awkwafina can't believe that, oh my gosh, Issa Rae's going to be in this. They're not using their actual names, of course. It's just a euphemism, okay? I'm just going to use their real names. So Awkwafina's so excited because Issa Rae is a big deal in this episode. She's an A-list star, so this was gonna be huge because you can get investors. Issa Rae gets there. Issa Rae before she's like, hey, are they gonna notice that I'm not a white guy, a white man? They told her no, because this is all simulated and this is like an old school movie. So no white, black, and nothing. She's who she's supposed to be. She's the character. So all the other characters in there just know she's the character. She goes in there. She's shocked at first because she loves this movie. This is her dream role. And then the movie starts. She hits her mark and things like that. They keep going and going and going. Fast forward, a little bit. She gets stuck in there and her mind's in there and they have to pause the movie. Essentially, for her to get out, they have to finish the movie. So she has to say the ending lines so the end credits will come up and her mind will get back into her body. If that doesn't happen, she's stuck in this alternate reality. So when the film gets stuck and everything gets faltered, Issa Rae's stuck in this alternate reality. She becomes enthralled in this love love, whatever, with the actress in the movie, the white lady. They get intertwined. They make out. They do all the lovey-dovey stuff. And then Aquafina and the production company, they get things back in order, and they tell Issa, hey, you have to end this. You have to end this. You have to say the line so the credits end, okay? Things keep changing because obviously Issa's not following the correct directions. And so things like get involved and people are missing and da-da-da. And slowly but surely, the end happens. She says the credits. She says her lines that need to be said. The credits end. She gets back in her body. And yeah, that's kind of what happens. I'm not going to go into detail because I do recommend people watch this. But people are up in arms at this episode. And I know why. Cue in Rachel Zegler. People, even in falsehood, even in just the idea that someone is going to reprising a classic and amazing role, even the idea, even though this is all fiction, even though we're watching it and we're like, oh yeah, she's going to be reprising a very important role in a very important classic movie, even though we know this is all fiction, just them implying that, the viewer, who are a lot of them are white and watch a lot of white movies, it triggers them. And what happens is, even though Issa Rae loves that movie and the show on this episode, even though Issa Rae is saying all good things about the episode, it's just a triggering of a black woman playing the role of a white, that's supposed to be coveted by a white man, who the audience, even though this is all fake, the audience who's watching this automatically just goes on defense. I've seen people say, oh, I fell asleep, or it wasn't good, or she wasn't a believable lesbian, or her acting. I kept hearing people say Issa Rae's acting wasn't believable, or her acting was bad. Y'all are fucking insane. The whole point of Issa Rae being casted, the whole point of this episode was to show how your bias will show up when a classical film, even the implication of a classical film, gets tainted by someone you don't deem as right for the role. We've seen it with Little Mermaid. We've seen it with Snow White. We've seen it with the new Harry Potter coming out. We've seen it with so many things. It's to showcase our biases when we watch a film. And also what happened with Ariana Grande and Wicked. They didn't necessarily Cynthia Erivo, which they kind of did, especially in the UK. The UK hated Cynthia Erivo before they actually saw the film. Blame the news, all right? But Ariana Grande, people had preconceived notions of Ariana Grande, and because Glinda in their heads, even though Wicked is separate from The Wizard of Oz, even though it's fan fiction of The Wizard of Oz, it's different from The Wizard of Oz. Even that, people still had the preconceived notion that Glinda was all good, all-knowing, and perfect. But Ariana Grande, she was far from that. Even though Ariana Grande could play the role and look like Glinda and could sing well, people didn't believe she could be respectable because they had preconceived notions and they had biases, and they were offended that a classic on Broadway was getting adapted to theaters. I hope I'm making sense, y'all. But yes, this continues to happen to maybe either outspoken women or women who feel like shouldn't be in the roles. It's a triggering thing that we keep seeing. Rachel Zegler, I saw Snow White. It's a kid movie. Most people who go on crazy about it, we all hated Snow White. No one gave a crap about Snow White. It was the least appealing Disney princess ever. We all wanted to be Rapunzel, The Little Mermaid. We wanted to be anyone else. Tiana, we wanted to be anyone else. We did not want to be Snow White. That hoe was boring. That hoe was not only boring, but she was annoying. Like, come on, guys. Let's be real. But because whatever preconceived notions the media already pushed to you, and because you guys were already on a high from The Little Mermaid and being angry with that, when Snow White was coming out, people were just mad because they're like, oh, she doesn't look like her. She's not that great of an actress. Her singing is not right. Oh, his songs aren't good. People went into it being extremely negative. We are in dark times, guys. We are in dark times. So now, encompass all of this, we're watching Issa Rae play a fictional classical role in a fictional classical movie that, is supposed to be the role of a white man. We did it with Hunger Games. We did it with Snow White and the Huntsman. Guys, this is a constant thing. This is it doesn't end. It doesn't end. So the people who are complaining, saying her acting isn't good, It's because of the biases they have placed on this fictional role and this fictional movie that she's supposed to be playing in, and this fictional character she's supposed to be taking the place of. Because again, Issa Rae's acting is perfect for this role. You are meant to think Issa Rae is a bad actress in this role. You are not meant to believe, really, that Issa Rae is a lesbian in this role. You are not meant to believe Issa Rae falls in love with the character in this role. It's unbelievable. The casting is bad. You're seeing the same talking points in this episode that we've seen in the actual real movies that maybe diverse casts have been hired in, or just people who are outspoken have been hired in. We've seen it over and over and over again. People hate when an actress is casted in anything that's meant to be a classic. Their acting is never as good, allegedly. Their singing is never as good, allegedly. The chemistry is just not there between a white and black actor. The chemistry is just never really there, aka Bonnie and Vampire Diaries. It is a constant thing. And I love this episode because it shows people's vitriol to classics being tainted by either blackness or gender swapping. People hate it. Even the fictional idea of it, people salivate at the mouth by the idea of that actually happening. Which is why I'm just not shocked at all by the comments. People saying that Issa Rae's acting is not believable, it's not good, it's really bad compared to the white actress who's just playing, the role she's supposed to be playing, a classical beauty who's in a classical movie. No one said anything about her acting because they're not triggered by it because she's supposed to be there. But people are definitely triggered by Issa Rae's acting because she's not supposed to be there. She does not fit in the show either. She does not fit in if this was a different episode and had nothing to do with ruining a classic, people really would have been fine with Issa's acting and that episode, honestly. People have biases. Issa Rae's acting is fine. You are supposed to believe Issa is not fit for the episode. You're supposed to believe her acting is the worst out of everyone's. You're supposed to believe her acting is worse than the classical actress's acting because that is how people feel today. The polar opposites of how people act now versus how people acted in the 50s, very different. People prefer how people acted in the 50s because they're classic. Not because they're better, because they're classic, and that is a time that shouldn't be tainted. All right, guys, so what do you guys think? Put in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Because honestly, I'm over people coming for Issa because I find that there are a lot of dog whistles happening within diversity in Hollywood. If there is an actor or actress that is not white and they get put on a pedestal of any kind, even in Black Mirror, people honk on it hard. No matter the other episodes were horrible compared to Issa's, people will honk on it because, again, in order to right the rights of white supremacy, especially within film, even fictional film within her episode Hotel Reverie, they have to attack Black stars in order to right the wrongs. Do what they always do. Oh, well, no, we can keep it Black, but if Janelle Monáe, it would have been more believable because she's an actual lesbian. It wouldn't have been more believable, guys. It wouldn't have. The whole point is Issa Rae is not supposed to be there. She's supposed to stand out. Her acting of the 21st century versus the acting of the 20th century, it's supposed to be polar opposites. Her acting even in that present day with Awkwafina, her acting was fine, guys. She's supposed to be very uncomfortable, very shocked, very confused about possibly her sexuality, about what that means, about her finally finding love. It's supposed to be a lot. But yeah, what do you guys think in the comments below? I know I sound very irritated. I find that social media, even TikTok, is becoming very negative. Everyone's becoming very freaking negative on there. Even with watching TV, I just want to be happy and watch stuff. Yeah, if I see what's his name, Sean Baker movie, I'm gonna honk on it, of course. If I see a bad movie, I'm gonna honk on it, of course. But it seems like every single movie that comes out, people hate. People want it recasted. It is so annoying. Like, dang, do y'all like anything? Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for commenting and liking on this episode of It Girl in Review. Make sure you guys follow me on Spotify, and I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to be reviewing Sinners, the new movie out in theaters now. Ciao.